Hello, everybody. Welcome to Santa's Magical Fellowship Group this 12th of October already. Gosh, we're getting close. You guys excited?
Oh, ho, ho.
Oh, I know. I know you guys are really, I know a lot of people are booked solid already, so that's fantastic.
Oh,
So welcome, everybody. Let me see here. I thought tonight we'd talk about, for some of us new Santas, which I don't see many new Santas on, maybe one or two. When you go out and perform, what's the best advice you can give a new Santa to kind of make things run a little bit easier? Kind of like, some kind of tips or time saver that um you can kind of like share that knowledge. I know I get asked a lot of times, well, how do you pack this? How do you do this? Why don't we just take a minute and kind of like share some of our little tips and time savers? Sound like a plan?
I mean,
I would say
I'll jump in there, but what
go
I tell
for it.
everybody is if
Go,
you have
Ted.
fun, the clients will have fun.
Amen.
So enjoy what you're doing and just don't be nervous. Go and have a good time.
What?
Is that Johnny barking or the dog?
One tip I just realized today through a testimony of another wonderful Santa that's here tonight, and that was you should have a zipper in your pants, in your trousers, especially if you're in the place where you really need to go and you don't have a lot of time to take everything off, to get the suspenders off. That just seems to draw a lot of attention to you. So zippers.
That's a really good idea. I'm kind of jealous. That's a really good idea.
I saw that look on your face, Mel. I was going to say something, but
I realize that what I was saying was not to everybody here.
Oh, you're part of the boys, Bill, when
I'm,
when they talk about zippers in front of you and you don't have to worry about it. That's like, all right, that's
I'm
right.
excited. They make devices. I'll figure it out.
Who was the Santa that told the story about going to the restroom and took off his suspenders, and when he got up, the automatic flush toilet started to suck back his suspenders?
Oh my God. Oh God.
But I don't know whether it was like a Leon McBride made up story or whether it was a real thing where the guy was stuck trying to fight the toilet.
Could you imagine?
But it sounds funny in either case. So
But it sounds
You
like it
know,
really could happen.
yes, it could.
you
Yeah.
know,
That
when
sounds
I
like a
was
Stephen Gillen tale if I've ever heard one.
Yeah, I think you're right.
when I was
when I was
a
young,
Santa on the Polar, when we first started doing the Polar about 12 years ago, I was wearing, my Santa pants, and I did not have suspenders. And so I'm outside because at that time the Santa came in uh, on the train when it reached the North Pole. And then from that point, the Santa comes through and hands out the first gift of Christmas, which is the bells. So I'm standing out with an umbrella because it's raining in the dark. And as I'm standing there holding this umbrella and the wind is blowing and everything, my pants fell off as the tree was rolling by. And so Santa's there, just in the buff there showing everything. And I realized that was the year I learned that I really needed suspenders.
See? And I can completely relate, my friend. Definitely. I won't go anywhere without suspenders now.
that was a ho ho no moment.
Oh, no.
Wow.
Yeah, that'll wake you up. Dear Lord, I'm sorry
You
that
always
happened to
have
you, man.
Christmas boxers on.
Well, I did, but nevertheless, it's still not something you want to show off.
Oh, no.
Yeah, you don't need to be showing your ornaments. It's just not
Yeah.
great. So, hey Timothy, hello. So I still can't see Santa Ernie or Atayo Bandini. Hello. we're talking about tips and advice for Santas. Just going to gigs. We've had some wonderful suggestions on zippers and suspenders. Anybody has any advice, anything to combat normal issues that normal people have as Santa? What you got?
Don has his hand up.
Go ahead, Don.
Santa True sent, I bought a set of cards from Santa True, and one of the things I read this morning that I had not read before was a good idea would be to have a second phone. If you've got your information all registered on the phone and you know where you're going and you got multiple gigs during that day, what would have happened had you lost your phone on your after the first gig or during the gig or whatever, and you've got 2 other gigs to do during the day? That day, one of the hold on one second. It's
Hi,
hold- I'm
Kim.
sorry. Go ahead. I'll talk after here. I'm gonna mute.
I mean, yeah, think of it. A lot of our lives are on our phone.
Yep.
I mean, I keep a hard copy because I'm old fashioned because I'm a day runner, but
Right,
think
but even like a track phone, Don would have got to the point of buying a cheap track phone. He would have made a comment of having it so you have that backup, depending on what you're doing.
it's a great idea. You know, you can get a track phone for what, like $19 or something like that.
And you
They're
buy minutes, so if you're not really using it, all it is you're having an advice. At least you can make a call or keep things moving, you know. And if you have Kringle Tracker, you can get online and find all your numbers out there too. So
There you go. Yep, that's for sure. All information in one spot there. Easily accessible from any phone at all. So, Timothy, I saw your hand up earlier. You have any tips or suggestions, or you're on mute, my friend?
bottom left-hand corner, Tim. You should hit the
Right.
You take the there you go.
Now. Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Can you hear me now? Oh. This might help. I had the mic hanging way up there. Hi, guys. Folks.
Guys is good.
So the big belt on the outside, a belt around the waist, suspenders, a couple of really large zip ties, maybe a little super glue around the edge. My point is, if you've seen any of the videos, Santa does not look good under a full moon. And it's happened before. So
We were just
we're not
talking about
naming
that.
names, not naming names, just it's happened before. We'll leave it at that.
And it's funny you say the zip tie thing, because I've heard the zip tie thing before.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, it's a thing. I was gonna try and anyway, but yeah, that's keeping your pants up, surprisingly, especially if they're tucked in pants. There's a lot of pull on those boots, especially the vinyl ones. They're real bad about pulling the pant into the shoe. And if the elastic's too strong, it'll pull the pant into the shoe. So anyway, all right, I'm talking too much. Hi,
no,
guys.
no, it will. I mean, a lot of my suits, I have stirrups in some of my suits, and you know, that elastic will pull that pant down when you sit, when you stand. And if your pants are a little too short, you know, yeah, Santa doesn't need to fly over the moon. So it's a good idea just to make sure that you give a little bit of a leeway on that. So very
Can
good.
I show you guys something real quick?
As long as it's
Just-
not the moon, my friend, we're good.
No, half a
Okay.
second. I think I can do this.
Oh, look, it turned out good.
That's $100.
Not bad. Great job.
The walls are plastic. They're scene setters.
Mhm.
little toy soldier in the corner is a banner. I paid $50 for the desk, and it's got lights and stuff on the top and a tree on a stand that makes it rotate, and the lights come on as you push a plunger that looks like a dynamite box. So, but anyway, yeah, $100 because I'm pretty much broke, and it's kind of cool what you can do with just a little bit. So
It's ingenuity, that's for sure.
Yeah.
What's
no, that's
for-
broke. That's what they
Hey, nothing wrong with being broke, brother. All of us, I repurpose, recycle, reuse anything. Michael,
Yes.
for example, went to the Goodwill and got a like a little, it's an alien type. I don't know what you call that thing you got at the Goodwill, Michael. It's like your little magic alien thing that makes noise that you poke at the tree. You know what I'm talking about? It's like an alien. Is it like alien pistol? You got it at the Goodwill last year?
Oh, you mean like
Yes.
This?
Yes.
Oh,
You
cool.
could just repurpose anything, Goodwills and Savers are great. I already said the same thing. Hi, Ernie. But, you can find the best stuff at, Goodwill, Dollar General, Dollar Tree. See, Michael found that at the Goodwill.
25 cents?
See? You don't have to spend thousands and thousands of dollars, to create timeless Christmas memories. The ray gun. Hey, Ray Brayshaw. So, Ray's here tonight. All us guys are here. Well, all us guys. Yeah, all us guys are here tonight. I'm just going to go with that for now. It's the theme of the night. And Pastor Timothy has a disco ball. It's just all about creating a good memory for the children. Any other tips or things that you learned on the gig that you want to share with other people that you think's a good idea or you don't think's a good idea?
I'll throw one more thing in.
Sure.
Safety pins. Have them handy.
Yes. Safety pins are amazing.
Should
Amazing. You'd be amazed what a safety pin can fix. You can sew with a safety pin. Wonderful to have. I learned to always carry wet wipes, even before COVID, anything like that. Wet wipes are always good. Not to be confused with Clorox bleach wipes, which I learned the hard way one year, but wet wipes are fantastic. So always good to have. Now, a lot of people in the northern climate, which I'm now getting accustomed to, a lot of people like to put toe warmers in their boots, keep hand warmers in their gloves, and just kind of have like a little satchel of things to keep them warm while they're outside. Personally, I'm looking forward to an outside gig. Hopefully it'll be snowing, so it'll be amazing. But how do you all stay warm?
Wool,
I put clothes on.
Fur hat.
scar.
Live in Arkansas.
There's one in every group. One in every group. There's two in every group. No, don't live in Arkansas anymore, Tim. Roger, thank you.
No, I'm saying that's how I deal with the heat
Yeah,
or deal with the cold. I just live in Arkansas. There is none.
nah, it's not uncommon for 80 degrees Christmas Day. So,
Yes.
but so like our Canadian friends, how cold is it around Christmas up there?
Well, where we are, I'm on the same level as you are, basically.
Okay.
So it's not a big deal for what time where you are in Michigan and where I am. Our latitudes are about the same. We're between the lakes, so we get a lot of lake effect snow and stuff like that. I'm the one that go out and in shorts and a t-shirt and 2 feet of snow to pick up the newspaper because that's the way I was, and drop the kid off to the school bus and just embarrass her to pieces. That's my job as a dad.
That's great. That is great.
And I'll tell you, up north, Mel, something you'll find out. With the exception of parades, there are very few outdoor events at Christmas in Michigan.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Very cool.
I am. One of the things that I do, Mel, doesn't mean it's right. It's what I do.
It's
I've
just
got
what
a
you do.
tub that it's literally an emergency kit for me, and it goes into my car. It's already in there since my season has started, and it just stays there. So in other words, I've got like a shaving kit that's got a toothbrush and toothpaste and everything that I need for personal items, since there's some of my gigs I spend the night, you know. So it's got all of those things. I've got a pair of underwear in there, a pair of socks in there. I mean, all personal things that I need in case I get snowed in. I have an extra blanket in the car in case I get in a ditch or and that type of thing. And then I also have, you know, hand warmers in there, safety pins, mouthwash. I mean, just literally this big box that I have all for emergency purposes that I hope that I never dive into. You know, there's a little tube of super glue in there. You know, I mean, there's mints in there in case I need mints and making sure it's fresh. So I literally, if you want, I can go out and get it and post it. I have a whole list of my emergency checkoff list. So I go through it this time of year, fill up, renew everything that I've taken out of it or whatever, fill up the case, and I put it in the car, and then hopefully I never draw on it. But it's just all of the things that I've learned that just to be prepared, you know. So I'll go out and I'll post the list and you can have it. It'll be a checklist. I also have a list that I have for all my gig bags. So in other words, in gig bag number 1, here are all the magic and the props that I have. And gig bag number 2, here's all the things that I have. So I keep track of all of that just with a checklist. So that way, when I'm getting ready, I can go through, do I have it? Do I have it? Do I have it? Do I have it? Because out of all of the stuff that, at least for me, that I do with my ADHD, I told my wife the other day that I finally figured out my superpower in life. I can find squirrels. Oh, there goes one right now. You know, so because of that superpower, I forget things. So that's why I have that list as Santa, checking it once and checking it twice. So I'll grab that list and post it, and then you guys can see it and adapt what you need to adapt out of it.
That is awesome. Thank you, Michael. You know, I have ADD shiny as well, and I have to keep a list of things that I have. Otherwise I will not remember anything, you know, especially you know, flying from different states to be Santa, and you never want to leave anything behind if you're flying to another location, because it might be, you know, slim pickings what you can get to replace it when you're on a gig out of state. So I know that I fly to Tennessee this year, and I'm making a list and checking it twice to make sure I don't forget anything. So does anybody else keep a list of things that they have?
Hi, everyone. I'm Ernie up here in the Northeast, New Hampshire.
All right.
And yeah, I keep a list of all the things in my bag, like Michael said. I do what's an intake form for my personal home visits. And I'll know that whatever day that I have, and if I have 2, 3, 4, 5 visits for that day, everything's written down on a form. I keep a book inside my vehicle with me, and I know where I'm going. It's got the address, and it's all on paper as well as in my phone. So that way there, you know, when I get close, okay, I'm going to be doing this, you know, this is what I even will go back to prior years and say, okay, what did I do this year? What am I going to change up? Things like that. And I keep all kinds of different props, magic books, little magic tricks that I've learned along the way. Different types of props, all kinds of things in a special little bag that I have with me. So it depends on the visits that I'm doing. And as far as keeping warm, you know, I'm a pretty big guy, so I don't have any problem. The furnace is always burning. I actually had to design a suit that was more lightweight because most of our gigs are inside. So I helped design a suit with a costume company that was more lightweight for indoor use and a lot more breathable, being 100% cotton. So, you know, you learn. This is only my 4th season doing this, but I'll tell you, I've learned a lot in the 4 years that I've been doing it. What works, what doesn't work, and things like that. So the more, and I always say, the more comfortable you are, the more jolly you're going to be.
Absolutely. And that's what it comes down to, you know, whether you're doing it 4 years or 40 years, you know, there's something to learn from everybody, you know, especially not to fly reindeers in restricted airspace, Ray, there. But, you can learn, and that's what's awesome. That's why, I wanted to, one of the reasons that we started this group is to learn from other Santas. And there's so much even a 4-year Santa can share to like a new Santa. There's so much that a 30-year-old Santa can learn from a 4-year-old Santa, 4-year Santa. There's just so much to give and so much to learn. So for those of you just joining us, for those who don't know me, my name is Melissa Rickard, known as Santa Mel. I am very glad you guys are here tonight for Santa's Magical Fellowship Group. We are just talking about little tips, little time savers to make your visits a little easier, especially as a Santa or Mrs. Claus or an elf. We've had suggestions for making sure you have a zipper in your pants, all the way to kicking a go list of making sure you have an inventory of what you have with us.
Hey, Mel.
Yes, what's up, Bob?
You started off saying, what about tips for some of the new Santas too? And I think Ernie hit on something important, and that is to be comfortable. I get butterflies, and I remember getting the first gig, I was petrified as to what to say and what to do. But if you get comfortable with yourself, maybe it's just putting on the belt that makes it, or putting on the suit that makes it. But people don't know that you don't know if you're new.
Yes.
They see the red and the white. They see you if you've got a good demeanor and you're comfortable, which leads to jolly. They don't know that you haven't done this 100 times. And if you have a good time, I think it just makes it a lot easier to relax into it if you don't worry about it and just go for it and not worry about it at all.
And that is
we have a visitor. Look, we might have a visitor here from Mrs. Claus soon. I don't know.
I
The door-
posted the link to an open Google Doc for you to see that whole list my type up list. So just
Thank
let you know.
Michael.
Look who it is.
Hi, Mrs. Claus. Miss
Hi,
Claus.
guys. How is everybody?
You're doing well. How are you?
Hanging in there.
Good
You know,
deal.
you got only as good as the nurse you've got,
Yeah. Yeah, Pam had her knee replaced the second time on the same knee.
Yeah, had to have a revision. So
So
it's coming along.
I've been nursing her for the past month.
Oh,
Mel's in Michigan now. She's
I
living in
know.
Michigan.
Up there with the land of ice and snow.
I'm
Are
excited.
you in Kellogg Town? Are you in Battle Creek?
Yes, I'm in Battle Creek. Yep.
How cool is that?
Yep. It's kind of like Philadelphia Light. I love it. It's fantastic.
Good.
So,
I used to mail letters as a child to Battle Creek, Michigan, with coupons from the backs of cereal boxes.
Yep.
That's where all the toys came from.
yep, Kellogg's and Poster up here. So I like
that's
it.
it.
Nice town.
All those
So,
little submarines that you poured the baking soda into that would go around the sink, stuff like that.
I have one of those. Yeah. So, but Atalia, welcome. I see you have your hand up. Welcome.
Hello, Santa Mel, and hello, everybody. It's a pleasure to meet you. I am thrilled to see so many Santa Clauses. I am from Santa Cruz, Bolivia, all the way from South America. So yeah, I'm like in the middle of South America, and I work as a Santa Claus for about. I'm 29 years old, so I'm very young. But I got the chance to perform like for Coca-Cola, for example, when I was 15 years old. And so I just began to learn, and I found these groups. And, last year I made this year I made the transition to actually buy a original designer beard from ZM Hair, for example. And, more, it's kind of hard to bring things here from the States, just because, you have to pay a lot of money to bring it here. So I went to a tailor and made the costume suits for me and everything. I'm actually gonna post it up in the group sometime when I get, the whole things, because I had to buy from Santa Claus at like the buttons and like the belts and everything, so it's a big thing I've made this time. And yeah, I mean, I'm just here to learn from you, and if I can give some tips for Santa Claus. I'm a professional magician as well. So with Santa, I do magic. And I do a lot of magic tricks like flying boxes, and I actually was hearing from someone. I want to share just something really small. I bought this ladder couple years ago in a congress in Argentina, And this ladder comes all the way from my Santa bag, you know. So if I can give you, I don't know if anybody knows this, but this is a great tool. So you like when you're like in like the, you know, when you're like in the house and you have your bag and you just want to say goodbye, because of course this is fake, right? You just go ahead and like you look at the sky and you're like, oh, I cannot reach my reindeers. So you just go ahead and take out the whole ladder from your bag, right? So this is like, you know, this thing costs like I think $400 or $500, and it's a great tool. If you have never seen this one, it's great. And yeah, I just wanted to give that small suggestion because I heard somebody say magic trick, and I think this is a really good one. So you can actually do. I do it for the ending of the Santa periods, right? I visit the houses and I just take out all of the gifts, and I hide this, of course, and then at the end I just take out the ladder, right? And I'm doing it right now in my circus. I have a Santa Claus circus for this coming season, so I do this on the show too.
Well, that is fabulous. I really like that. That's a really neat tool. You know, I like. And how tall is that?
I don't know in like inches. I'm like I don't know. I forgot the conversion from meters to inches.
That's okay. How many
I'm
meters?
like 180. I'm like 180. So there should be, yeah, about 2 meters, 230 meters
Okay.
probably. Yeah, it's kind of big. It's kind of big. So if you probably in a magic shop, you might find even in, like the Chinese magic shops, they might sell it and it will reach to you in, you know, 20-30 days. This costed $500. That's what I know. That's what I remember. Like I bought this like in 2017. So yeah, I just saw I was like, this is for Santa Claus, definitely. I have to I have to buy this for Santa. So I did.
Well, it's very nice, and thank you for joining us from Bolivia. It's good to have you here.
Thank you.
We've been. This is our third year, folks. So we're getting up there. I see Everett and Data are here, and Blake's here, and you know Ray and Carl still hiding behind there. I don't see your pictures, guys. So Boris is here. So how about Charlie? Hi, Charlie. I'm just seeing you, Charlie. I don't know why I didn't see you earlier. Because you're shrinking. So, Charlie, what's a number one tip for when you go out as a Santa? What's your number one recommendation or tip or any piece of advice you can hand out to newer Santas? You're muted. Charlie.
Be nice if I unmuted myself, wouldn't it?
You're fine.
Like Michael said, I'm going to use his list because I didn't have a list before. It was all in my head. But be organized. That's the best advice I can. Is get all your stuff together so you always take the same thing, and that, depending on if it's a special event or something that's a little bit out of the norm, make sure you have that stuff. But I think the biggest advice would be always carry extra stuff in the car with you, like an extra suit, extra pair of boots, extra belt. You know, unless you're driving a little smart car or something, you should have room for extra things in case something happens. You'd have never known a kid might pee on you or a dog, or if you're going to do pet photos, I did it last year and I'm doing it this year. And the best thing I had, Carol, my girlfriend made me a zip up bag out of a towel, and I put puppy pads inside. Well, I didn't have the inconvenience of having to change my suit because an animal got excited and peed on me.
That's a good idea. It's a very good idea.
So what do you do, Charlie? How did you take that puppy pad and put it on your lap while you were?
Yeah. Well, she got a big bath towel, folded it in half, and put a zipper in it. Then inside that zippered, towel, I put a puppy pad, just like you get at Walmart or Myers, big box store. And that if an animal is on my lap and they pee, I when I put that pad on my lap, I just make sure it's the absorbent side up and not down. And it'll absorb that. It won't go through into your suit or anything.
That's
But
very
again,
important.
I always bring extra puppy pads and I bring an extra suit. It's always a suit that I don't wear when I'm with kids because of allergies and stuff. That's the only thing I use that particular suit for, is for pet photos.
Yeah, I have one suit. That's a good idea. That's a good point, Charlie, And, you can take allergens, you might be seeing dogs and cats and go over to see a kid who's allergic to dogs or cats. So be mindful of that. I have one suit that I use specifically for pet photos. Just because you don't want to make anybody sick. So that's a great point, Charlie. Great point. So,
Yep.
Timothy, did you have your hand raised?
I did. Just by way of example of things you ought to bring. Last year was my first year to work as a mall Santa since 1986. What I found out was that I was old, and I ended up with bronchitis and severely dehydrated. So access to water was very limited once I got there, so I had to bring in whatever I had, and I learned very quickly, bring water. As silly as it sounds, as simple as it sounds, bring your own water, because you do not know what's going to be there on site. You can put it in your contract because Santa needs to have water, and that is what they will forget. So yeah, simple stuff like that. Salt tablets. Sounds silly maybe because you're not out working construction, but you might as well be, because of the suit that you're in and the heat that generates. So, simple, but you're going to need it.
Yeah, I mean, you definitely need to stay hydrated, and you need to think about hydration too as the season starts. Santa Bruce talks a lot about your voice and being dehydrated. By the time you realize you're dehydrated, it's too late. So start hydrating way before the season, folks. And yes, bring your own water with you, and make sure you've got something to drink. Try to stay away from like caffeine and anything that's going to dehydrate you while you're out there. So very, very good point.
Oh, last year, I almost got diabetes because of Coca-Cola. Coke Zero has a thing that's very bad for your body. The one that doesn't have sugar, right? So because I was had to promote the Coke Zero, the new Coke Zero. Well, I went to the doctor and told me you're gonna get diabetes because of this, right? That was really, really bad.
Oh my. Yep.
Yeah.
Just be careful.
Thank
Yeah.
Okay, but
are you better now though?
I'm into metmorphin, and yeah, I'm fine. Fine. Thank you.
Good.
I'm okay. Yeah.
And that's yeah. A lot of Santas are diabetic, or have blood sugar problems, or even hypoglycemic, So it's just important. That's another thing too. It's a good point, Italio, is that you got to watch your health too. You can't spread Christmas cheer if you're half dead,
Yeah.
So you've got to watch your health.
I gained a lot of weight because of that. Now, of course, makeup helps me, right? Look, jolly and yeah. But Coke is not fine. And because Coca-Cola hired me, they were like, I was supposed to do that. This year in my contract is that I'm not gonna take any of that if they want to hire me, right? Yeah, just because not the case.
Gotcha. Well, I am glad that you're doing better. And like Santa Boris said, we got to limit our snickerdoodle intake. So definitely limit the snickerdoodle intake, although that is my favorite cookie in the world. Yeah, and Ray makes an awesome point too in the chat. Eat before the gig and stay away from the cookies and the treats. And I had a Santa friend once that was a Santa at a buffet and decided that buffalo wings were pretty good to eat during the break. he came back and he couldn't even get the red off his natural beard. So, it's tough. So just watch what you eat and try to eat beforehand. No one wants to see someone trying to scarf down something, that's messy while you're trying to entertain family. So
If they
Yeah,
do want
no,
to, see if you can get it to go.
yeah, get a reindeer bag to go. Yeah.
yeah. Anything like Doritos, Cheetos, anything like that, stay away
Yep, that's for sure.
because they are just powdery and it really, you don't need an orange beard or you don't need any of that.
Nope, absolutely. No cheese puffs, as my husband says. No cheese puffs. So, and that's just another thing a lot of people just don't think about. Gloves. Someone said earlier, I forget who it was, probably Ray, bring lots of gloves. Bring extra pairs of gloves if you have them. How dirty do those white gloves get so quick? They get pretty dirty. I got a pair of leather ones this past year, and they're fantastic because you can clean them really well, but still you got to make sure to switch them out, especially there's still remnants of COVID and the flu's around too. You don't want to be spreading that.
Now, the nice thing about leather gloves is you can use hand sanitizer right on
Yep.
them. And any of the color that's taken out, you can just get the white shoe polish and do them at night and set them aside and they'll be white again in the morning.
Yep, and they break in pretty nice. They're kind of rough when you first put them on, but they really break in. Stuff for Santa has some really good ones. So I'm sure there's other
Can't
people.
do a book with it.
Say what?
Can't turn pages in leather gloves.
Yeah.
I found some at Harbor Freight, white leather gloves.
Oh, Harbor Freight. Okay, very cool.
Yeah.
So Harbor Freight has a lot of neat little things too. You can always find like odd stuff at Harbor Freight. So now I heard someone say bring an extra pair of boots. Do a lot of people bring extra pair of boots? Charlie? I carry an extra pair of black boots, but it's just an emergency situation because they're like women's boots, but in case like something happens. So definitely extra pants because I don't want to get an excited kid or puppy to whiz on me and not have anything to change into. So,
Did anyone notice we were just talking about cookies and Santa Boris just came back with a fistful of cookies, just munching away, having a wonderful time. Love you, brother. None but love. Okay.
I did not catch that. Did you bring enough to share with the class there, Santa Boris?
I ate one or a half of one, and then the other one's like it's still there. It's a raisin.
Oh, that's fantastic.
So far.
Boris has promised me tamales.
Yeah.
That's what I'm waiting for.
And
Boris has
menudo.
promised me tamales. Menudo. Muy bien.
From Delia's. My mother-in-law is saying from Delia's. It's a
Very popular.
very popular business here that sells tamales. They're called Strictly Tamales.
Ugh.
That sounds really good. Sounds really, really good. So now I'm hungry for tamales. That's fantastic.
Ship them to her.
Oh yeah, we can ship them.
There we go. We'll just come visit.
So yeah.
Oh man, it's just you see tamales out a lot around Christmas time, and I always wanted to make them for Christmas dinner. So don't think I have the talent. I might have to find a place to buy some. So Everett and Dana, what advice do you have to share? What's your go-to stuff? What did you learn when you first started versus now? Which is still kind of like the same lateral thing, but you're on mute. You're on mute.
Mute.
Hello.
The deer in the headlight look, you know,
Yes.
from year one versus years getting ready to start. Deer in the headlight look, you know. You always have your first of the season jitters, you know, and mine, I kind of got over mine because we had a photo shoot for a new photographer for some promo shots. So I got all my stuff together, and I mean, I took 3 different suits there and different looks, and and she just wanted one style anyway. But it got all the, gave me a chance to shine and to
Get his crap together.
get it all together in one spot. But it would help if even if you're an old seasoned professional. This is our 4th year. Get on your suit, put it on, and sit in front of your Zoom video thing and see how you look. Look at yourself in the mirror. Have someone take a video of you, do a 360 around, see what you look like if you want to make adjustments, and then just see, kind of flesh out what you want to do for the year. How do you want to do your home visits? How do you want to do your photography? What do certain things. I mean, whether you've been doing it for 40 years or plus, or your first year, just put on your suit and get into your character and just see what you do. And then you'll find if there's any faults or anything you need to adjust. I was sewing up buttons that I needed to sew for 2 years. I had 3 buttons on my vest that were held on by big safety pins, and I was still going to go another season. I'm like, I'm not doing that again. So I sat there and I sewed them up with embroidery thread and took care of it myself. So
Good idea.
I'm so proud of him.
We're proud of it too. I have some buttons I need sewed on if you want.
And then, have anyone seen this before?
Yes.
In the package, it says Nintendo Switch.
Hold on, let me put it.
Well, I took mine out and I put batteries in it and it didn't work. So I took it apart and found out that the switch only had one of the wires from the batteries to the switch. Well, now mine shines because I fixed it. And then I ordered Nintendo Switch lettering off of Etsy. It'll be here in probably a week or so, but I can have a functional Nintendo Switch that I can show and give, show the kids. Oh, you want a Nintendo Switch? Well, here you go, So, and I got that from, I think from Spangle.
That's pretty cool.
It was like $10, but like I said, it has 3 AA's in the back or AAA's, but I was able to fix mine. So
I like that.
no problem.
Very good.
Do that thing.
I like the iPad joke. Working in the eye care industry, I like to hand out iPads.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, goes a long way. But
Everett reminded me of something that I'll share with you real quick from Santa Tim. He said, when you get dressed up and everything, take a mirror, hold it down here, and then look down at it, because that's the view that the kid's getting.
yeah,
And it really helps you. You go, oh, geez, I didn't know I had that much hair in my nose. Things like that. Little things like that I think help.
absolutely. Because you're getting that child look up, at your face, at your nostrils. You want to make sure you've got the right things trimmed and you don't have like boogies up your nose or something like that. Just you're seeing what the kids are seeing, and they'll point it out. They're like, oh my gosh, how much hair do you have up your nose? They not that they've done it to me, but I'm just saying, they'll point it out. So kids are really observant, and like Ray Bradshaw says too, a groomed beard, make yourself your best self. Every visit is your first visit, because you are creating timeless Christmas memories.
I have a question. I had a photo shoot this summer, and I would say the little girl, maybe 10, right? And she goes, I don't think you're the real Santa. I hear the real Santa's beard smells like peppermint and yours doesn't. So in other words, I've always tried to not wear cologne, not wear any of those things because of kids with allergy. But then all of a sudden this kid comes up going, you don't smell like peppermint. You're not Santa. Have you had any of that? Anyone that have that? I mean, all my years, that's the first time, but it's like, wow.
I would throw it back at her. Say, I normally do smell like peppermint, but I know there might be some children here that have allergies and maybe allergic to peppermint, so I didn't wear it this time.
Yeah. I just said I save it for Christmas. You know what I mean? That was my quick comeback, but it's like I wasn't necessarily ready for it,
Yeah, it's a question you wouldn't hear normally,
No.
Mrs. Claus used it all in making cookies.
Ah, look at you, Charlie.
Very good.
That's like a
Kevin.
submarine deal.
Yes,
$9.95.
we need a submarine commercial. My beard smells like gingerbread. So,
Send her a quote. You
well, one of them. One of them, I think. One or two of them. I don't know. I have 4. It's easy. You guys carry yours with you all the time. Mine are in boxes. But
Mine smells like tamales.
There you
Yeah,
go.
muy bien.
And menudo.
now you're just making me hungry, Boris. I'm telling you. Yeah.
You can never go wrong with that.
He's rubbing that in. Yeah, I love it.
Like a virtual potluck one meeting. That'd be awesome.
So how many here, how many here actually have had children that have had allergies that you did the right thing by not having anything on?
Actually, yeah.
I just don't wear it at all just because of that.
Mhm.
Same thing, going with the suit for pet photos. I don't want to have some kid break out in hives and have to shout for an EpiPen or something.
Right, right.
I
Hey,
tried my first year. I bought some peppermint essential oils and I dabbed it on, and it was strong. And even the photographer was like, "Oh my gosh, don't!" I'm like, "Okay." So
Keeps the spiders away.
yeah,
You know. Does anyone have in their contract whether the kids with a question if any if any of children have allergies?
Mm-mm.
Yeah.
No, I don't.
So I have a feedback, on my form when I have, when I'm sending the contract, I send information about, anyone's with allergies, how many kids, any sensory disorders, and just trying to find out if there's any allergies. So that's one thing that I do. Of course, everyone is right to know, so it's good so far. But yeah, it's you got to watch out for everybody. So, which is cool.
What was the recipe
Where is
for if you're in a, let's just say, Charlie, you were at that pet. The reason I'm asking you is because I do have one photo shoot this year, or it's not a photo shoot. It's a Santa Day where pets are going to be coming in. And I thought, well, some pets, they don't smell very good. And so what was the ingredients in that spray that Santa True had?
Vodka.
Vodka.
Was it just vodka, plain vodka,
It
or was it
was
vodka and water?
vodka with just a drop of peppermint in it.
Yep.
Okay.
Drop.
And that's what I use on my suits. Just because I'm an old theater geek. We used to use that all the time. So
Okay.
Don't let her fool you. I think she drinks it more than she uses it.
Yeah, don't get it mixed up with your water bottle.
Santa Michael.
Hey, you gave me permission to be your brother. I'm just being brotherly.
Yeah. I'll be right sisterly too.
All right, I take it back.
Don't make me drive up there, Michael.
Road trip, Michael's house. Let's go. Yeah, like Ray said, the cheapest vodka with distilled water is amazing. And don't buy like Grey Goose vodka, folks. Buy like Poland Spring, $2.99 liquor store vodka. You don't have to buy anything expensive.
See, I knew you knew the brand. I knew it. I knew you knew the brand.
I was a college student once. Man, you guys are turning this around on me. Okay, I see how it's going to be. All right. You're still on the nice list, Hal.
All right.
turn into the hard apple blossom state, Santa. So.
What happens when I cross borders to Michigan? Thanks.
Woo, baby. Come on now.
1 point for you, man. That's awesome. Thanks, Everett.
now you know what I have to deal with.
If you don't want to go the vodka route, Febreze works very well to take odors out of stuff.
Yeah, the refresh Febreze. Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. I like the Febreze Pet too. That does pretty well. and Ray said Everclear. So
That's more
Yeah.
expensive.
yeah,
The
and
only problem with the vodka spray is you get pulled over by the police, you're never gonna convince them.
like, sorry, officer, I wasn't drinking, but it evaporates pretty good. Vodka, vodka's pretty good. I wouldn't get like flavored vodka, but vodka does pretty well.
Well, plain vodka does not have a smell.
Yeah. So
And if you're carrying it in a spray bottle, then, unless they're gonna spray it in their mouth or something.
Yep. And you're getting that from a retired MP. So
yeah, there you go. So yeah, and Ray's right. Febreze will build up in the suit. Sorry, Tim, I saw your hand up, buddy.
That's fine. Since we were talking about it, just a quick story. If you have peppermint schnapps before you hit the chair, the kids think you've taken medicine. Now, why would I know that? I had pulled a full 10 hours from opening till the afternoon, and then I was supposed to get off. And I was off, and the staff was having a Christmas party, and they said, "Hey, you want a drink?" I said, "Sure. What is it?" "Peppermint schnapps." So I had 1 or 4, and I was doing great, and I was fixing to head home, and the guy comes rushing in. He said, "The other Santa didn't show. You've got to go back out." I said, "I can't. I've been drinking." He said, "I don't care. You got to go back out." So Santa was pretty well snockered for the last 4 hours
My goodness.
of the night. You put it in your contract. Don't ever get Santa in a compromising position. But when it's the mall, you just kind of have to roll with it. It's not your fault. Anyway,
Yeah.
that was one of the interesting ones.
It does have a medicinal smell, yeah. So, and that's one thing I always recommend is save your partying for when you get home.
Yes.
So,
always.
because you had no choice there, man. You had no choice at all. But no one wants to see Santa getting vishniked, So just be careful, but enjoy responsibly. So, very cool. These are awesome stories, awesome tips, awesome things. You guys excited for the season?
Oh yeah.
It's
Yeah.
gone way too fast.
Yeah. You guys all totally booked pretty much?
Not totally, but I just got somebody that messaged me on Gig Salad about appearing again.
Awesome.
I
Very
just
cool.
sent a quote.
I'm waiting on quotes. So yeah, I got a couple gigs, so I'm excited for those. So I'm excited to be a Mrs. Claus. I'm going to be Mrs. Claus for 1 gig, so that should be fun. So
We've had a decline the last 20 leads on Gig Salad
wow.
because we're already
Yep.
Where are you at again?
Savannah area.
Savannah, Georgia.
It's a little bit of a commute for me. Yeah.
90% of Gig Salad, gigs are Saturdays and Sundays, and
Exactly.
I'm booked until I quit working on the Santa train.
Yep.
So unless it's something after 7 at night or 8 at night, I can't do the weekends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, see, and I have weeknights booked, but I have my weekends open right now, which is just weird for me, but we'll get there. It's just because I'm new to the area. So, but it gives me more time to back up if anyone gets stuck.
Charlie, are you a Polar Express Santa?
It's not called the Polar Express. I'm in Grand Rapids area, and it's the Coopersville and Marne Railway Santa train. They don't serve food, but I do get photos taken with the kids by their parents or whoever brought them, and then we give them a toy, either a plushie or a Matchbox car.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Cool.
I think I want to come up there and see that. It's pretty cool.
For any Santas in Michigan, I do need a Santa for 1 trip on December 2nd at 4 p.m.
Oh, I'm in Memphis.
Mike, you sound like a reindeer.
No, they're lower tone than that. No. You know, because you know that's on my bucket list. I always want to do that, and you know that I'm booked on weekends like you already. You know,
I
so-
know. Well, I had it all lined up, but then one Santa is having major health issues and he had to bow out. So I need one for December 2nd, 4 p.m. It pays $125 for the trip, a 90-minute trip.
I think Boris should do it and then bring tamales when he comes.
Yes.
I'm actually
Yeah,
already
people are
booked on
obsessed
that
with-
day.
Oh yeah.
Wish I wasn't in Memphis. I'd do it. Man,
Yeah.
Lord.
I was gonna say myself. I mean, I know a lot of you are aware that I do the mascots. So lately I started, offering like for community events. And then just recently I got in touch with here in my city. I got in touch with the lady who was in charge of like the events. And while we were talking, because there's an event coming up for anti-bullying, for the schools and all that, and so I'm gonna be dressing up as Mario. I did let her know though that I do also portray Santa, and she's like, "Really?" I go, "Yeah." She's like, "Because we actually do need a Santa." So that was kind of like I just threw it in there, and I've been talking to other even here at our library. Just today, I spoke with the librarian, and the same thing. I told her I portray Santa. She actually was going through my Facebook as I was telling her, and she was like, "You know what? Would you be available December 14th? We're gonna have an event here, and we'll pay you for that." And so little by little, like just last night, I had there was a lady who had reached out on Facebook that she has a neighbor, single dad of 4 kids, who's struggling, and asking the community like to help out, like with clothing, money, shoes, toys. And I told her that I would like to donate a visit, as either Super Mario or Bluey. And she loved it, and she's like, "You know what? I'll get in touch with you." And then I told her also about the whole Santa thing, and she said that she would, if I could, if that'd be possible, like it'd be great, like for the kids to do something good for them. And the crazy part was that last night after I posted that, last night I got like 3 or 4 bookings for parties, birthday parties. And then this morning when I woke up like around 7. Yeah, I woke up like around 7 a.m. I already had like 2 or 3 text messages asking if I was available on so and so date. So I'm like, man, it's like, for me it was like a blessing in disguise. With me just offering that donated time, or that visit as those characters. So right now I'm like, all these little gigs are coming in, and not only the mascots but Santa as well.
See, that's awesome. If you've ever seen his pictures of him as the mascot, Mario, he's awesome. I mean, I creeped his Facebook page. That's a great pictures. So,
Well, thank you.
you're welcome. So, well, and that, when you do good, it brings good back. And that's what we're all about, folks. We're here to spread the love and joy of Christmas in this season. AJ, I'm sorry. I saw your hand up, hon.
Very good. I was just going to say hi.
Hi. How are you?
I'm branching next year, Mel. I'm already registered.
Awesome. You said you had one Santa gig this year. AJ, which Santa gig are you doing?
Virtual visit
It's a what? Virtual visit?
for a preschool.
Okay. Very cool.
Yeah.
Well, you have to let us know how it goes. It's awesome.
Or do.
Oh, very, very cool. Oh, you guys are just this wealth of information, and that's why I like to share it. And, thank you for all those who sent me text messages saying that we should do this once a month. I do want to get in at least 2 more before we're completely slammed. I think the last meeting will be the week of Halloween. And I think the week before that, our last meeting, we can all wear our suits and just do a last minute check, because it's always good to do a last minute check instead of putting a suit on the day you have a gig and realizing you have no buttons on it, or, when you got it back from the cleaners, it was pink. So I'll be posting in the group. We'll have one meeting. If you want to dress in your full suits, go right ahead. We did this last year. It was kind of fun. It was neat seeing everyone as Santa or as Mrs. Claus or as an elf. Because, some people just look totally different, when they're the Christmas performers. So we'll do that meeting, but, man, you guys are the best and girls are the best. Thank you so much for coming tonight. I always want to be respectful of your time. My friends know me. They know I could talk the paint off a wall. But you guys are Christmas magic and you're amazing. Ray Bradshaw, by the way, has a 3X suit he can't use if anyone's interested. Just reach out to Ray. But share your pictures on the group page. Post your questions on the group page. It's your group. It's not my group, guys. As I say every time, just get on there, have fun. Ask questions. We're here for you. But I'm really proud to be part of your community with you folks. And until I see you next time, remember, look in that mirror. You are Christmas magic. And like I always say, may visions of sugar plums dance in your heads. Till I see you next time, guys. Thanks for coming. Thanks for coming all the way from Bolivia. You all take care. And we'll see you soon, okay?
All right,
Bye.
Thank you. Nice meeting you all.
Bye-bye.
Right now.
Merry Christmas.